February 18th, 2025. Yesterday on the 17th, you know, these people are like they're beating a dead horse. His dad is gone. Why are you taking a stick and beating it? It's like you tell them, the police tell them, and it's like they don't have comprehension between their eyes and their ears. Seriously. Is it because crack kills brain cells? Too many drugs? You just don't understand. Or if you think you act stupid, one day you'll actually pull it off. Say it as many times, it's still a lie, it's still a lie when you say it another time. A million times over, it's already being debunked as a lie. Melissa and her kids, like they said, she's old news, and that was what, 1920? She's the police need to put her in jail. She's still behind it, and it's not just the drug cartel lying on her. They need to put her in jail. Absolutely, because they were talking about in 18 that she could be arrested for involving herself in any of this. Well, we'll just write it up that she was showing off for the new girlfriend, her and the kids. And that's it. So we don't have to actually include her in the crimes. They were being generous. Generous. Obstructing justice in a major FBI case? Yeah. You want to play? The police tape everything. They will tell you one of them has to at least watch me every day and document everything for the FBI. Okay? And then when you think about where Paymer yelled at Dave, where I called the hotline and they drugged me out for 3 days so bad I couldn't call him back, had to get enough air in my face, call one of my witnesses, said they witnessed for me. I put that agent's number in it where I had called the hotline. He tried to call me back the next day and I was too drugged up to answer it. Third day I still hadn't called him back. Because I couldn't get out of bed. Went down after I got a hold of a witness on the third day. Said they had witnessed for me, put that agent's number in it from the voicemail, dropped off the mall, go up to Apostolic Church of Barberton, and Paul Paymer screaming at Dave. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. How dare you bring up the FBI with what's on her life? Then all these people show up. They start following me around, Dave. Everyone. You didn't think they were cops? Are you slow? I realized that in 18, I had my phone going. I was taping Dave admitting to crimes. And I'm looking around. I thought, oh my God, he don't realize the police are taping. He thinks it's just the drug cartel. Oh, my Lord. And where he told me off, got all those men around you, they want you. I start laughing. They don't want me. I started laughing my head off. Trust me, they don't want me. He didn't put it together. They were the police. I realized that I had to stop myself from giggling. So, what part did you not understand? That's where this whole thing, and even the police in uniform, because the first month of the case, they came up at Walmart 62 in front of the cops. Will found another way of making money off the case. He's selling the login for $25 a pop. I can go into another state and they'll mention the case. Thanksgiving of 18 in a legally bogged house. John's kids are in the basement playing Boo. Okay? They're taking each one of us. Now it's a split level, so it's a family room. There's a bathroom, laundry room, TV, sectional couch. And my turn to go down. I go back up on the third step up, like man can and Canton. And man 19. Karen, if you didn't hear John's kids right on the third step up, they knew where I was standing. Dave's girlfriend isn't Michelle, it's Michelle. So, the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa. Look down, they're all in a huddle saying crazy crap. Go up and sit by Dixie and the new baby. Now the police are taping the whole thing. Laura comes running up there saying mean things in the basement. She said, stay out of it. I go up to John, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. I told Melissa, his ex-wife of 3 months, goes to that occult that hired the drug cartel. Okay? He said, I told Melissa you're going to be moving out, going through a divorce. She'll just have the kids make up something, but don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. And he said, she'll probably have her church people make up something too, but don't worry about it. No one could say anything bad about you. He said, it's just going to be made up because I told him you're moving out and going through a divorce. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have said anything until it happened. Well, I did, and since nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. And he shoos me. So to cover all bases, I call Dave. We talk about Melissa going to have him like because of the divorce. And we talk about John defending me. And then he's like, Karen, you're good to the kids. You're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. I taped him, and so did they. Okay? Okay? Right after Thanksgiving of 18, the police had a huddle in the front of Walmart. Now, they already know the law getting sold. People are showing up admitting to seeing the case. They already know they've been hacked. Okay? Why are they having those kids make all that shit up? Oh, they're just trying to scare her out of the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. They're just trying to scare her out of the house. Little extortionist. Okay? They're documenting me games of pretend, as the police put it. Okay? They even came up, Melissa's so stupid. She made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. They called her stupid. Okay? June 23rd to July 4th of 21. I am in Walmart 62. The same investigators. What are these people talking about? We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She's never hurt anyone. Girls that dated the drug dealers. Oh my goodness. The boys had to drug her to make her say that stuff. Nobody mentions those tapes again. Same one in March of 23 in Walmart 62. We told these people to stay out of it. We interviewed our whole family a long time ago. She's never hurt anyone, and nobody's ever seen anything. It's just some lady thought she could make some money off of it. Some extortionist from the drug cartel. Okay? Flora, my granddaughter that was playing with him October 23rd, 2019, told a bunch of adults. And I was at Brielle's first party. And I said, do you know how mad I was when they said the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shaw and Papa? She's like, that's not what they said. And she said it, and it was filthy. My God. I would have spanked them all. And Josh is like, ew, that's not true. She said, of course it's not true. Of course it never happened. We made it up. They were games of pretend. Laughing until she sat down going, and quit chuckling. In front of a bunch of adults, how they're mean games of pretend that she couldn't quit giggling at. Okay? Well, the police came up to me after they said she was so stupid she made everything up when I was fishing with Dave. They said her first line was where that old man showed up the first month of the case. For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn on you. You try to leave Dave Ellis, your child molester. And I'm like, who are you? I had a bruise on my leg. I was throwing up that morning again. You know that bruise on your leg? I used sodium pentothal. He struck me with a deep rape duck. Freak stuck me in my sleep. You know what you told me? And I never talked to him. He struck me in my sleep. Told me to say something about a wrong nightgown. And butt line, a life of pain. And then threatened me again. What did he admit to? He was working with Dave. And he was drugging me up and telling me to say lies. And I went to a legally bugged house and had Dave debunk it. I was dressed modestly and then I was seeing the back of my knees. Then repeatedly, how people had drugged me up before, where you had bruises, you were throwing up and almost passing out. They were framing you. They photoshopped all their lies. They made everything up and mocked me in 18 and 19. January 19th, they had photoshopped feminine wipey above the toilet to make me look weird. They were laughing at me at all the different scenes they had photoshopped. Hmm? It wasn't even funny. Erase some guy named Chris out of the room. Hmm? Now, October 5th, 21. I was in Huntington Bank with a client. They're in there talking about that bitch lying again. They've been talking about her like crazy lying. We go to leave. My client's like, who's that crazy Melissa? They all talk about lying. I said the ex-daughter-in-law friends with the ex's girlfriend had the kids make up some mean games of pretend in front of the police. He's like, she's crazy. I said, I know she is. Okay? Okay. So the first lie, she was in it with the drugger nightgown, wrong nightgown Bud Light. Dave debunked it. I was dressed modestly, though, I see in the back of my knees. Now, Dave even admits, and I have also Jen, and the police even taped Daniel in my car, that on the 4th of July, they were late. They were about an hour late. They came in. I took a picture of everybody sitting on the couch. I warmed up their food. Okay. They took 2 bites, ran to the basement, had pillow fights. Jen and I went outside. You could hear them playing outside. Okay. I'm outside with everybody else. It got too warm. We went inside, and Dave comes in. John left. Well, he was going through a divorce, and they had split custody, and he had his rounds of people he was going to see. So he was only there less than an hour, and they were in the basement. They left through the garage door. He said he was in a hurry, and he left. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even see them again till the FBI was there. Okay. Now I want you to think about that. The second lie is they came upstairs, looked through a cracked bathroom door, and seen you being weird with yourself. I was outside the whole time, and there was a bathroom in the basement. They never came upstairs. Who's being dirty if they look through a cracked bathroom door? Somebody's wiping their butt. You are. They could be putting yeast infection cream on or whatever. They're supposed to even Photoshop that. And it never happened. And that's disgusting. Think about that. How morbid these people, these drug dealers that did that. Third lie, they'll make up something, call you a bad word. That's all they tell me. Then they told people you vandalized their church. I went to touch that place with a 10-foot pole. It's got demons. They told people by Christmas of 18 that I was supposed to have broken a home. They tied my arms and legs to a chair. The owners caught me. I knocked it over, kicked it over, and jumped out a window. I'm in my 50s. Are you freaking kidding me? I'd hurt myself. They called her fucking shit. My family should be ashamed of. On January 7th, 22 in Giant Eagle, they were talking about Agent Will in the case in front of my neighbor Becky. And then outside Giant Eagle in Louisville. And inside they were calling Mel's kids fucking lying dirty little bastards. In May of 21, I went out of state. First gas station in Pennsylvania where they send their hate crime through the phones. Some girls looked at their phone and said, oh my goodness, Kurt found out those kids are lying. He's going to kill her. I'm like, Kurt Sloan. They said it on Thanksgiving of 18. Well, I know the Stark County Sheriff's worked the FBI case. So I went down and I sat outside, and I used to do that a lot. All this has been so overwhelming, being tortured, skull bushed, and almost shot driving, being in the trenches with a cartel under police surveillance, and they got a lot of them because of the case. It's like, well, if Kurt just found out those kids are lying, he's slow, right? 2 sheriffs walk out, bust out, laugh, and yell at her across the parking lot. If Kurt just found out those kids are lying, he is slow. Okay. 8921, the apartment building for me, second close to the fence. There was a lady and little girls that lived there. They were out there talking about being drugged and told to say it, and then 4 or 5 neighbors got together and did a police report. Okay, those kids were even out there laughing. They even told us they were lying. Oh, yeah. They even screamed out on Louisville Street in 21 about her lying. Canton Street in 21. Okay? I was in Maslin by my son Josh's, and I was still smoking at the time. And I was going to smoke a cigarette before I went in. Some guy pulls up and he gets on the phone. I'm a reporter for Melissa's kids. Thought he called the cops on me. They're documenting me games of pretend. She never hurt anyone. Leave her alone. Oh, okay. You can say it. You can say it. The police can tell you that in uniform. And it's like they don't understand English. Crack kills brain cells. In August of 23, on a Tuesday, Officer Mark told the lady, none of this is funny. Said, did her ex-husband defend her? Yes, we taped him. So did I. Okay. Did anybody ever speak to her? No. Then they had to frame her. It's documented and verified she was framed before. Was it the drug cartel? Yes, we've seen them. So who was in my home before? The drug cartel. It's also documented and verified it was a medication error that made her sick before. And another woman was even using her insurance. She's like, none of this is funny. He said, I know it's not. Okay. Then we got May 25th, 21, 6 p.m. Wendy's in Louisville. The church people breaking in before drugging me. Tell me, say weirdo stuff. Okay. It's got the 8/9/21. Then we have November 1st to 3rd of 21. A lady in Save-A-Lot on Whipple of everything being made up on me. Then December 9/21, 4 p.m. at a Oakland apartment on Cleveland Avenue. All the tapes before were them and not her, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. Actually was a guard there in my case. Came out and we always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so we never said a word. Then we have January 12th, 22, Walgreens North Main. Officer John stopped two big men at the door of Walgreens North Main about 4:55 p.m. While those kids get caught steady, they made everything up. Okay. January 19th, 22, Department of Disability, drugged and told us at February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory, Latino man admitted he drugged me first and told me, say it. People went running in to Save-A-Lot, cleared down on 6th Street. People in Canton, they were running out of their houses yelling it to the postman. We all heard it. There was an investigator from Ravenna, drives a black Sebring. He pulled up, I seen her out today. I found out that bastard really did drug her and tell her to say it before. He was complaining to somebody. Okay. March 24th, 22, 1:30. You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. Some little guy giving a big drug dealer a howl. Was screaming at him. It was echoing down the streets. Okay. Right after May 25th, 21, Memorial Day weekend, the goons from Ravenna were on Fairlawn Street. All right. That Michelle and Lauren, the heavyset girls, one of them came down. I seen her drive by in a blue car, screamed at him. Are you crazy? You can't enter a drug confession. Well, we just found out they drugged her and told her what to say before. Bullshit, they said it in 18. Eric, one of the wanted stalkers, Maslin police officer. I took a client to Maslin Altman Hospital emergency room on Wales Road in November of 21. He comes in. I'm here to watch her. There's a Steve and Eric stalking her, and we don't know who they are yet. And it's actually funny. After everything they did, nothing's admissible. Okay? November 18th, 22, the one in Stalker, Eric, came in Walmart 62, screamed out all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it for all these people to turn on her. And they've actually fought for it. Well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad and they still fought for it. All right. Lighthouse Tabernacle and the cartel makes fun of FBI agent John, June 7th, 23. FBI agent John fell for the stunt I tasted for. Oh, come on now. It was only a stunt. You mean that FBI agent fell for that? You mean John actually fell for it? You're kidding. And then name and title and tackle. They sold videos of it to children, little kids last year. We seen a video of them making fun of Will. They either call him Will or John. I don't care if they call him Pookie. They made a public fool out of him. March 20th, 24, they were laughing in Walmart 62 again that they made everything up on me to get away with this. They dared the FBI. July 9th, 23, they wouldn't dare fix it after what one of their agents did. The FBI wouldn't dare. They dared him. I thought there'd be SWAT teams. Christmas Eve of 22, I went to Danny and Jen. I said, did you know where they kicked in my door on the 6th day to the wall when we were at the storage unit? He said, yes. I said, Dad said it was a realtor passing out keys. Don't report it. Yes. Did you know about body cameras? No. Did you know about a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird? They're like, no. And I said, did you know where I had the orange, lemon, and grapefruit ice bruises all over me and even been throwing up and almost passed out in front of the neighbor by the second weekend? It kept happening. Jen's like, yeah, I remember that. I said, did you know they were drugging me and telling me to say weirdo stuff and beating on me? And she's like, no, I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. I didn't think about it. Kids came out of the room and hugged me. Grandma's at, what's going on? We didn't know. March 1st to 3rd of 21, they said they put 2 clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Okay? Then later on, they were saying stuff that never happened to me and my stomach bleed. I thought, well, you put my head on somebody else's body. Then I thought, what would you be doing? And it sounded like you got undressed and got in the shower. It sounds like showering. You're washing yourself. Walk outside to smoke. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. Police taped all this. By the first month of the case, I had went to Altman Family Physicians. The police were in the back, and they told them it was documented, where I was sick before, it was documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors that made me sick before. Yesterday, on the 17th, February 17th, 25, I went to go in McDonald's in Perry Township. A lady was outside. I looked it up. They did document the doctors from before as fraud. I told that lady having people say stuff to her to knock it off. I go inside and people are laughing. Said they released the recorded line of that agent telling on you. Nobody would say a word. He admitted to telling on you. I know he did. Oh, like in what, 22, 23? Actually, 23. Teenagers in Canton were complaining about it. And then in Belden, and then in North Canton, the FBI made fun of her for being drugged, being raped. The FBI made fun of her for being human trafficked. They better take care of those idiots. See, that's where this last week, they were releasing it again. And people in Golden Corral, Mm-hmm. We all know the FBI makes fun of rape victims. The FBI turns them back over to them. Hmm? We all know. After what happened with you, yeah. And we know they steal money from rape victims. Nobody would ever trust them after what they let happen here. They look like the worst white-collar criminals there is. They released where I told them, somebody told on me, you liar. I tell them about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. Calls me a liar. Starts screaming about a camera above the bench. I don't know. Well, he tried to kidnap me before I can say Terry Coberly seen him. He's like, oh, come on now. Even if a church person seen him, they'd never verify. That's why I didn't tell him about Terry. Then he's like, I met with that family in my office and all those church people, and I know they're trying to kill you. And he says, strange as lie, where it's medical malpractice and medication errors. They were defrauding me, ripping off my insurance, wanting to do unnecessary brain surgery. They were trying to make me look that sick. Having seizures, heart attacks. And I'll tell you what, where these church people are saying, well, they paid off a dirty doctor from before to write up this, write up that. You do realize that's attempted murder. And like a lady investigator said, they better never say that again. They'll all go to jail. Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah. They're trying to say the cult paid those dirty doctors to almost kill me before. That they were in it with the cult and Dave, and that they had paid him off. See, that's where the investigators have wondered if they didn't do that. Because like they said, there's no way they didn't know they weren't killing me, and it took another doctor to tell on them. Yeah, now they're saying they actually did. It's not even funny they say that. Okay? That agent, back to the recorder line. I met with that family in my office and all those church people, and I know they're trying to kill you. And he says, strange as lie. Not faking you're sick. No, it's medical malpractice. Medication errors almost killed me. It's like I really was sick before. And conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. It's a 20-year sentence. Why didn't he arrest him? Do his sworn duty. Not make fun of a drugged up rape victim that some occult's trying to have killed. And what did he do? He just confessed he told on me. And he's like, and I said, I really was sick before. You liar. You either say you're lying or I'll arrest you. He said, was there a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. Dear God, I tried to stay alive and get away from that idiot. I'm like, I don't know. You say you're lying, I'll put you in jail. You hear me? It's like, fine, whatever. Ha 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 ha. He let a serial killer go. Found out it's a serial killer. Works with the Florida human traffickers. Okay? Now he said, I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. Well, that's ridiculous. I almost died. I said I really was sick before. I met with that family in my office and all those church people. I know they're trying to kill you. And he says, strangers lie. I said, look, I really was sick before. You liar. You need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame him for trying to kill you. That he aids and abetted attempted murder. And I said, I really was sick before. You say it or I'll leave you there, but they'll try to kill me. So they've tried to kill me. So say it or I'll leave you there. Please don't let him kill me. Then say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let him kill me. Like an investigator said, I listened to the recorder line. I almost fell out of my chair. He actually talks to her like that. All the police know he told on me. And so does a lot of society around here because they sold login. As a discussion in high school a couple years ago, we discussed a case with our teacher, how illegal all this is. Okay? And all those bad things happened to her because that agent didn't help her. Okay? All right. And then he's like, why would the FBI help a person like you? Well, they're going to try to kill me, so. They're going to, they'll kill me, so. And the other agent yells out where Dave told people he hired Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men. He hired him in a store in Ravenna. When the neighbor said, after he hit me with, I'm thinking it's probably when he hit me with a board in the face and he took off, run to the store, got in my car and took off. They said he showed up in a store. And that's like the third day. By the sixth day, they kicked in my door to the wall. Yelled out he didn't want his wife anymore, asked all those people to help get rid of me, and it was the people in this, and they all agreed to help get rid of me. And it was the people in the store in Ravenna. He hired a drug dealer in Ravenna. That's why the fake sodium pentothal reports photoshopping and washing by a local drug dealer running a drug scam. Okay? It's that pathetic. I said, he said we could always use Pete's tape, the Weird With Yourself, the shower scene in the other room. Okay. I said, what are you talking about? And the only Pete I know is my brother Medina. I've never met my rapist. I would take a drink out of a Diet Coke in the room and go dizzy and black, wake up hours later with bruises all over me, throwing up, and my personal area was so swollen it was turned out, inside out. And I had to go to the doctor and treated for all those injuries and lost 18 pounds in 2.5 months. I couldn't even keep saliva down at times. They were dragging me up so bad up there. Okay. Or I'd wake up with injection marks. I was so drugged up there, I thought the dirty well water just showering in it was killing me. I never seen her talk to anybody. I almost asked him why he was lying on my brother, because the only Pete I knew was my brother Medina. I hadn't seen him in years. And I talked to him on the phone, but I hadn't seen him. And I almost said, why are you lying on my brother? When he had died, I have never met my rapist. The guy Dave hired in the store, Ravenna, the drug dealer. He's laughing at me for my rapist. It's that sick, a federal cop. I said, what are you talking about? It's a shower scene in the other room. Okay. And then he said something else about Pete, and it's a drug and told to say it. Okay. I said, what are you talking about? He said, stop, she don't know. And he's laughing at me. Well, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor selling information. It's against the law for any doctor to ever talk about you without your consent. There's HIPAA violations. It's 1 to 5 years, $250,000 fine, and you can sue them for $1.5 million. They can never testify against you in court. It's the patient-doctor. It is. They can't disclose anything you say to them. It's illegal. They are to do no harm, and they're only to work for you, not work for your husband trying to kill you in an occult. And they can never discuss anything. They can't even acknowledge you were seen there without your consent. That's why you have to sign a release to go to a specialist for your medical records to be switched over. Well, I had some lady, I have a feeling my whole marriage was a scam. Looking at it now, after I got married, my sister-in-law Barb said that Dave would have women in her basement having sex with him when she was gone. And she was glad he settled down and married me, because he was sleeping with all kinds of women. So, more than likely she was a woman from the basement, because he was only making $80 a week working for John Cowgill. And Tim, my brother-in-law, was showing up at church saying he made $500 to $1,000 a week in 1984. That was a ton of money. And so asking me out was getting him a job at that factory and then marrying me. And I think it was a scam between him and that woman, because right after we got married, my dad started the insurance right away, and then we started getting weird medical bills, hospital stays at doctors I've never seen or heard of. And we fought him. the insurance fraud. And Dave's complaining that some strange woman got my information. My brother knew of her. My mom knew of her. Every union rep. Kay McMillan threatened to put Dave in jail. That some heavy-set white woman that was round was showing up at the factory. And there was rumors of him cheating on me. And he told me they were just trying to break us up. And they were lying. And I told my brother, get me proof. He didn't get me proof. And so it was just rumors. But then I got all these bills. She even used my prescription card. And I'm like, come on, Dave, how would you get that? He's like, just call him with your social. You didn't have to show ID back then. Half my medical records are hers. And she went Harry Carey on my insurance. So hard telling which medical bills are hers and which ones are mine. See what I mean? And these idiot call people, oh, we had a doctor write up. She was insane. Insanity is not curable, and neither is mental illness. It's right on Google. You can't write that up about somebody. It takes a competency hearing to find somebody insane, and then they give you a guardian, social worker, and you put on disability. Your brain is permanently damaged with either or, and it's not curable because your brain's damaged. Okay? Now, if they want to say Social Security disability owes me about 25, 30 years of back pay, I'm poor, I'll take it. I have no pride. You want to give me $500,000? I have no pride. But see how stupid they are? You have to have a competency hearing. You have a right to defend yourself, another doctor to defend you, and it takes a judge to find you insane. You can't just pay somebody dirty off. Could you imagine if you could do something like that? My God, you could destroy everybody you hated. And then if somebody would have wrote something up like that and the person is fine, then it is lies and fraud. And then again, you got to think, they wouldn't even know what doctors I went to. They can't even suggest it. That's where I haven't figured out why Pam's involved. I hadn't seen her since 1984 to 2012. She didn't know what doctors I seen. So why is she involved? I haven't figured that one out. Besides, her uncle was a cult leader trying to kill me. I mean, seriously, I never discussed my medical information with her. I haven't figured out why her and her daughter, besides her daughter had a big drug dealer's baby. And they hired the cartel. And then over the next 6 years, I didn't say anything to her but a hi in passing. How's your kids? How's your grandkids? Maybe 6 to 10 times over 6 years. Pastor, somebody be implied to that you knew 28 years ago be now 41. Had nothing to do with her. See, didn't you think about that? She only showed up 4 or 5 times at that church after they got married. They left and went up to Pamers. I had nothing to do with her. See, that's why I can't figure out why she's involved. Seriously, and she wouldn't know my medical records. She was never one of my nurses, and she can't even look me up without my signed consent. It's HIPAA. You have a right to privacy. Doctors just can't pull your medical records. Neither can nurses. They can't even suggest you are seen anywhere. Like an investigator said that, with them letting that woman use her insurance, that cult was setting her up the whole time. I have a feeling my whole marriage was a setup. So he could take care of that woman, all that overtime he was supposed to be working. I bet he was going out with her. And it's really not funny. One time when Altman Hospital called me, my mom was there. I want to talk about your stay at our hospital. I haven't stayed in your hospital in years. You see Dr. So-and-so. I never heard of him. I tell him about this lady using my insurance. Well, we sat and talked to her. Remember, I said, ma'am, I've never met you. Well, you said you have 2 little girls. I have 3 boys. I told you it's somebody else using my insurance. She went Harry Carey, stuck us with all those copays. Okay? And the police have documented her fraud. Okay? All right. And it's just a big scam. Like the police said, we knew no real doctor could walk in there. They go to jail. We were wondering what those people were doing. They thought that agent was an idiot. That's what they thought. They thought he was a doofus and an idiot. They could fool. It's a big scam. Okay? I said, what are you talking about? Stop, you don't know. Give me a real reason. My brother-in-law, Craig, died working for the government, so I tell him about it. He said, first of all, have you talked to any law enforcement about the threats on your life? I said, the only two officers I've talked to, August 8th of 18, midnight, I had a light in the security system. They came out and said it looked like an alien orb or an angry spirit. Told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered. You're kidding, right? And I said, no. Matter of fact, I've never even had my neighbors in my home. I've only had repair guys and installation guys. I don't know what you're talking about. He said, is that what's going on? He said, do you know if Dave has a girlfriend? I said, well, I think he's cheating. I've never caught him. He starts laughing to that other guy that was making fun of me for my rapist. She said she never caught him. December 9th, 18, I taped Dave. I never caught him with anyone, so did the police. There was no one to be mean to or threaten. You never caught him. Then he offers to take me and leave me somewhere with no money. Then he offers me the informant program. If you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can open up an informant thing. I can do that. You have a life of informant case. I can do that. Comes with $5,000 a month. I'm loading the money on the card. Do you know when you can show up and pick it up? I don't know. Well, hell broke loose. He left me in hell. Okay? He said, you'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you would we ever do this for. Always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. You have that money to live on. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. Okay? But if you try to tell someone, I'll tell everyone you're crazy, and the FBI won't help you. I told my friend from the prosecutor's office that. He laughed till he cried. You can't do any of that. And he said the agent did tell me his best friend was the chief of police of Canton, that he was a really good man. And if I couldn't get a hold of him, the Canton police would always protect me. Okay? My friend from the prosecutor's office, Stark County prosecutor's office, were sitting in McDonald's on Mahoney Road. And he said, you told me that agent said his friend was the chief of police of Canton. He said, and that he was a good man. He said, I'll let you know he is a really good man. One that was there in 18 was a very good man. He said, and I'll tell you what, the police know they can't go along with anything that agent said on that recorded line, but unless you inform it with money and immunity. Informants are different. You stay yourself and you feed them information. Due to the freedom of speech, and the freedom of speech states that not even Congress can make a law to take your freedom of speech away or your right to religious beliefs. They can't even make up a new law. I want you to think of that. They can't make up a new law. Due to the freedom of speech, only a judge can put a gag order on you during a jury trial. That agent is only a hired police officer. He don't even have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. I said he already confessed he told. He can't tell on you, but you can tell however you feel comfortable, and he can't open his mouth. He can't make up his own rules. And the police know they can't go along with it. It was illegal for him to even say it. He can't bully you into false statements either. He said, and they know they can't go along with that. And he can't tell anybody. They can't help you. That's the 14th Amendment. Cannot withhold protection. You can't just take somebody's money, but due process of the law. And he said, and what these people did is a fraud scheme. Drug confessions, drugging, where you had all the signs of being drugged, being raped, seen by the doctor. He said they probably were drugging you up and telling you to say stuff, and they probably did Photoshop that shower scene. They all laugh at you in front of people in stores about. Oh, they made fun of me big time for that one. And the police taped them. He said, it's a big fraud scheme, and they did the biggest mistake they did in your home is the right to privacy. He said, and the police would know that, and they know that agent can't misdirect your money. He cannot withhold it. He has no rights. It's illegal what he's doing. He said, and you don't realize you're in one of the many witness protection programs, and until that agent puts you in the FBI puts you in another witness protection program, you'll stay an informant for life. You don't realize he opened a threat and an attempted life case. You will have to be in protected custody the rest of your life, and you will get paid for risking your life to get the government information and stay in immunity the rest of your life to get the government information. And they owe you. And he cannot put restrictions on it that he don't even have the authority to say, and the police know they can't go along with it, and it can't be in a court order because it's illegal and no judge could sign it because they'd go to jail for signing it. There's the guidelines. It's for getting them information only. You get your money and immunity. I found out they can add living, housing expenses, and a medical card. That would be nice. My case, Karen's will, Karen around the house, where I go into Akron and Hartville, we all know our case is a nationwide human trafficking scam, where all the human traffickers attacked Ohio. They were laughing in my face what they were doing, who they worked for, and what crimes they were committing like they were unstoppable. And the U.S. Marshals showed up January 23rd in Worcester. And announced themselves and that they would be taking care of him. Met with my one friend. I got a friend on the police department. 2 hours away, know about the case that agent opened with you. They knew about the Texas group. And I'm like, the King's Men, because we all work for the King from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. He's a fentanyl king if you look him up. And we went through all kinds of stuff, and they're going to use that case, that agent opened with you, to get those drug traders, human trafficking people. And then he drilled me until I was stuttering. I walk outside, they yell, we're the U.S. Marshals. We're going to take care of this. That agent left her there. Can you imagine he left her there? And he said he left her there because she was weird with herself. It was probably them and not me. They already confessed it was them. They flat out lied to you. Like January 5th, 25, the police call out the feds. In Walmart 62, what is this? Another FBI agent lied to the U.S. Marshals. She was weird with herself. We always knew it was Photoshop and washing herself in the shower. And we knew they drugged her and told her to say it before. We always knew that. Just like May of 24, I'm in Myers, North Main. Lady comes in. I talked to the police that work her case. They said that it's ridiculous for anyone to ever insult her. She almost died to save children. They knew the whole backup plan. If she didn't die, were those stocking tapes. And where the weird with herself was photoshopped of washing herself in a shower. And they had drugged her up and told her to say it before. They always knew, and it was a backup plan if she didn't die. The police always knew. You didn't fool them one bit. Whatever happened to January 25th, 2019 should be about that day. They knock on the door. Hey, the police said that they always knew she was innocent and innocent before. And they were talking about it at the station. Some guy was bailing this guy out from a team, offered to pay a fine or bail, and said no. The police already knew she was innocent and innocent before. They never want to arrest her. They knew somebody else did something wrong before. It was a drug cartel running a scam. I want you to think about that. (9/18/19) Ravenna Courthouse. The police tell the judge was there, for you had us look into it. You knew she couldn't handle it. You knew she appreciated us doing it, and you could find she did nothing wrong. They were talking about that August 13th, 24. Finding that tape. My whole life has been under surveillance since the last week of September of 18, first week of October of 2018. FBI informant. Police watch me. They told these people years ago, you're messing with the wrong person, the police watcher. Hi, guys. April 28th, 24. I am on Walmart on the strip. I walk in. Some guy's on the phone. I listen to the recorder line. That agent did admit to telling on her before, and he did talk to her like that. They better do something about it. Okay, I get to the canned veggie aisle. Officer in uniform shows up. Karen, I've been listening to this today. We all know nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel, and it was a drug cartel in your home before. And we all know that guy told on you before. I want to know how he heard it took off. Where the Stark County Sheriff's made fun of that guy Kurt in 21 for falling for everything and call him slow. He knows anybody's falling for it. He tells him stay out of it because the sheriff's called him slow. Guy's on the phone by the ladies' clothing aisle. Kurt, none of this is funny. Okay? They have that agent over her case admitting he told on her before on a recorded line. They have her whole family defending her. Okay? And that they didn't know anything about this. Okay? And they have these people taped, admitting they drugged her and told her to say it before. Photoshopped everything and made everything up on her. None of this is funny. Everybody stay out of it. By the front register. Pam Strange. With her granddaughter. Uncle Dave said he had somebody tape her before. Had someone tape her before. I know they'll verify it. I walk outside, the investigators lose it. All bust out laughing. Took her long enough to confess she was in it with Dave in those stocking tapes. Her family was linked to the fellow Randy. Now she's in it with Dave in the stocking tapes. Her family better never verify it. The police we already know taped them defending her. Okay? And they have these people taped that they photoshopped everything and made everything up on her and drugged her and told her to say it before. That means they were in it with Dave trying to kill her and cover her up the whole time. The police would have to arrest them. They scattered. Absolutely, they'd have to arrest him. That night I was in North Canton. Some guy was outside the apartment in the middle of the night and said, I told that girl she needs to realize she was taped of knowing of the tapes before. She better not be caught part of them. She'll go to jail a long time. She needs to start realizing how not funny this is. That guy Chris they said they raced out of the room, I found out she don't even know who he is. And he was supposed to be one of the main people hurting her. How would you like to take a drink out of a Diet Coke in the room, go to see him black hours later, come out of it, what on earth? Got giant bruises all over you. Ow, I don't remember banging my arm or leg. Or in the bathroom throwing up and you're so dizzy you're almost passing out. And your personal area is so swollen. It's turned inside out. You can't hardly pee without screaming. They were sexually abusing me. Wake up with injection mark, more bruises. Going to the doctor. What on earth is wrong with me? Did you fall? No, maybe you're coming anemic. Give me iron pills and muscle relaxers for the pain. Got a migraine headache, then throwing up. Give me stuff for headaches and nauseousness. And then my personal area, I had to be on pills and creams for a long time. Here I'm being human trafficked out of that house. Yeah, anybody part of this needs to go to jail. You know, these idiot people said they were just giving her Valium mixed with some other drugs to relax her during the process. That's what rapists do. They roofie women so they can beat and rape them and they won't know what happened to them. Are you fucking kidding me? You know how illegal that is? That's kidnapping. There's none of that funny drugging me up and telling me to say stuff. They roofied my neighbor Mike at a bar. I came out of my apartment. He walked up to me. He's like, I don't know how I got home. I'm like, go sleep it off. He's like, you don't understand. I've been sitting there for hours. What do you remember? The second beer. Go sleep it off. You don't understand. I got all this money in my pocket. Pulls out all kinds of money. I'm like, check your bank. He did what I told him to. He said, that explains the money. But what was in the box with mustard and how did I change my shoes? I'm like, oh my God, they've roofied him. Go sleep it off. He's like, and that's what I was thinking was, oh my God, they've roofied him. Go sleep it off. I told him, go sleep it off. He's like, I used to be a New York cop and you're pretty. I'm like, go sleep that off. He's like, you want to go cuddle? I'm like, go sleep it off. Later on, I checked on him. It was a while later. And I said, you know, you told me you were a New York police officer. He's like, I've never been a New York police officer. I don't remember saying that. He said, I found out during the second beer, I started telling people I was an astronaut, nice to some and swore to others and left. He was stoned out of his mind. That's what they did to a U.S. Marshals kid. I met her at the storage unit. She told me she went to Jersey's. She took a drink out of the bar and the room went dizzy and black. Don't know what happened to her. She waited a while, went to another bar, took a drink in the room, went dizzy and black, ended up in the hospital. Don't even know how she got out of the bar. She was moving out of this area for safety. My coworker Dar, she had a set of twins. One had died, and she's sitting around the house grieving. Her friends got a babysitter for the surviving twin, took her out. She's sitting at the bar, and they were giving her space because she's sitting there crying. She said she took a drink, and that's all she remembers. Her friends said that she acted a little happy. Then a group of people came up they didn't know, and she's talking to them, acting fine. She left with them because she's acting fine. They didn't think anything. She found herself in a puddle pee. Got herself home, thrown up, messed up like me. Okay? Thrown up, dizzy, almost passing out. 2 months later, she went to the doctor. Found out she's pregnant. She's arguing with the doctor. How could I be pregnant? I've not had sex with anybody. She said, it's not that I don't love my son, but I don't know what happened to me. So her friends were keeping an eye on her. Because I asked her why that guy was sitting outside. Now, I only have 3 memories for the FBI, and I thought they were dreams. The sound of marching. I have a memory of screaming at the top of my lungs, and it felt like my back was being ripped open to my sternum, and every cell in my body was screaming and being attached to nothing. And I remember a white man's arm going across me with a giant needle in the room going black. And he had a white dress shirt with gray pinstripes. I thought it was a dream. It was a drug day. Dar said the only memory she has of that attack is screaming at the top of her lungs, attached to nothing. If you think it's funny, drug and raping somebody. And I'll tell you what, U.S. Marshals, better keep a hold of your daughter that they rovied, because they just didn't rovie her to show what they could do. They probably have a drugs, and to say it, they probably stripped her naked, took pictures of her and put her in some kind of porn and waiting to set off a hate crime. And with her being young, blonde, and pretty, she's the type they sell. You need to keep an eye on that little girl. Okay? You pull Karen around the house, Karen's well. You'll have the Florida group, Judge Peter from Florida, that was arrested in 22, where his group showed up here, that they were drug traders and human traffickers, worked for Judge Peter, and they were from Florida. You'll have Henry Maffey with them. You'll have Michelle, his daughter, breaking her crimes even at Faith Family Church, and that she could control the drug cartel. Her and that group still here. They even showed up and bragged that they did all this so Michelle could take over the drug cartel. She got her dad arrested. Him and 100 people. They bragged in Belton Village that they were drug traders and human traffickers from Florida. They worked for Judge Peter. They were relocating people to Florida to resort area. Judge Peters was arrested in Florida in 22 with 100 people, and there was a pipeline between Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. They were selling people. That's why the Texas group was up here. They're scouring for victims. You also have the California drug dealers, Michigan, Buffalo, New York, North and South Carolina, Maryland, Tennessee, and Kentucky, and Georgia human traffickers and drug dealers all breaking their crimes. It's bad guys on a platter because it's legal police surveillance for an FBI informant with threat of life with a court order and with statements of threat of life. Like they said, that case stands up in court without her. Like they said, she's part of a really big bust. Yeah. That FBI agent ought to be ashamed. I like my damn money. We all know you told on me. Everybody knows. Stark County sheriffs have even said, I didn't find it one bit funny how that agent John talked to her. Investigators in Kent, we all listened how that guy talked to her. We all know Karen didn't know one thing what those people were doing. At least Karen's not up there. We don't have to worry about her going back to Dave anymore. It's good to see Karen happy again. Like the Starr County guy from the Starr County Prosecutor's Office, Walter. He said you have a lot of great favor with a lot of officers because of this case. They think very highly of you. I'm going to upload this.